Hi all, welcome to another video. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at how to create these information cards, primarily focusing on the hover effects. As you can see, the two outside cards twist in and the middle one leans back and they glow. So let's get on with it. Up here I have created a card design project folder. In there I've added the images, email, SEO and social. Let's close them down. Other than that, we're at the bare bones. So I am going to create the index.html and also the styles.css. And then going to the index.html, let's put the good old punctuation mark and tab. Let's give it some sort of title, so card design, and then link in the style sheet, so link tab, then type in the name of the file, save. Now let's go to here, right click, open with live server, and away we go. So let's close that. So what do we first want to do? Let's get ourselves set up. So fonts, I'm going to use Montserrat, and I'm going to take this style here, copy, plonk it in here, and then to everything I am going to apply this rule. So copy that, save, and save. So let's get rid of the Google fonts. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this white because it's probably hurting your eyes. So body, background colour. What colour did I have? Let's have a look. This one, just grab it from off screen. There we go. Right, you can open your eyes now. Right, let's go back to the index and let's put something in here. So I'm going to use a card container class, card container, and within there I am going to add a card, would you believe, or a div with a class of card. So tab, there we go. So there is a card. Going to leave it at that for the moment. Let's go and get styling. Okay, so we need to do our resets. So although only when I do this I only usually use the asterisk, we're going to use before and after pseudo elements with this today, so I'm going to include that here. So before and all afters. I'm going to apply all these rules to that as well. So we're going to remove all padding from everything and all margins from everything, and box sizing, border box, save. Okay, so we get into the body, display, flex. I want to give it a height, otherwise it's not going to work properly. 100 viewport height, the width of 100%, and then I'm going to actually plonk the card container bang in the middle, so I need to use the line items center, justify content center. That should about do it actually. Save that. You won't see anything just yet. Card container. Let's give it a border, 1 pixel solid red, just for a minute. You can see it, little dot there. So let's give it some properties. Display, flex, width 100%, really need to give it a height. We'll put one in for now so we can see where we are. So there's the container. If we didn't give it a viewport height of 100 on the body, it'd be sat at the top because the body basically wouldn't have a height. It would only have the height given to it by its contents. So that's the reason for that. This we will get rid of shortly, but let's carry on. Display effects, yes, let's align items, center, yeah, okay. Before we do that, let's give it a direction. Flex direction of row, because I want the column, the cards to be in a row. Now the align items refers to the vertical alignment because it's a row, so that will be center, but I want for the justify to be space around, which will space the cards evenly across the screen. Well, not evenly, otherwise I could have used evenly, but I wanted space around because it's slightly different, and I'll show you why in a minute. So let's do flex wrap. I'm going to give that a wrap, and in fact let's just show you what's going on there by card. Give it a background colour of something darkish. That'll do. And let's give it a height 300 pixels and a width. I think actually the width is 300 pixels and the height is 400. So there's the card. So the height of the card container, where's that? I'm going to get rid of that. Save. There you go. So it adjusts automatically, which is the default value for the height property. So if we add a couple more cards, copy. Right. The space around means this here, or this space here is 2 times that, because this amount of space is here and here and here and here and here. If we were to use evenly, it would space it evenly, like so, which you can use either or, it doesn't really matter. But the flex wrap, if we do get down to about here where they can still fit, we go like that. They don't fit, so they wrap down. But as you can see, they sort of touch each other at the top and bottom. So I'm going to do row gap of, I don't know, 50 pixels, and there we go. But that's just so we don't run into this issue. I mean, if you're doing a responsive site, you'll probably sort that out anyway. But anyway, let's go back to where we were there. Let's get rid of the other 2 cards. Save. And now we're left with this one. In fact, let's get rid of that red border because we don't need that. Okay, so we don't need the background colour either, but we do need display flex, and flex direction here is going to be column. But but that actually doesn't matter. What we're going to do is align item center, justify content center, and because it doesn't matter whether it's a row or a column, that's why I removed that, because we just want it bang in the middle. This card is going to contain another div with the class of content, which is going to fill the card. That's just to avoid complications with the before and after pseudo elements when we apply them, and all the transforms and all the other stuff we're going to do. So let's Did we finish off the card container? I believe we did. So let's put this back to space around, because that's what I prefer. And let's get on with the cards. So you can't see the card at the moment because it's got the same background colour. In fact, let's make sure that is the case. Copy. Background colour. There we go. Let's give it border none. And border bottom is going to be 1 pixel solid. Steel blue. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. And let's give it a box shadow of 0 left to right. And I'm going to do 20 push down and 30 pixel blur RGBA. It's going to be a black at 20% opacity. And there you can see the shadow. There's none at the top, so let's comma separate another shadow. Again 0. This one I'm going to do -10, so it moves the box shadow up by 10 pixels. And this one is just going to be a 20 pixel blur, so it's a bit more in your face. RGBA again. This one I'm going to be at 40%. And there you go. So it's a bit more subtle at the bottom because it's got this bottom border. We don't really need it to be too mad here, but you know. Let's give it a. What's up in there? Where's my little comma gone? There it is. Okay. Position of relative, because we need to position things absolutely to it, and I'm going to give it a transition. In fact, I'm going to leave that out for now, and I think I'm going to leave that there for the card. So let's concentrate now on the before and afters. Card before. This is going to be the border. When you use before and after, you have to give it some content, so even if it's blank like that. The width is going to be more than the card, so we're going to add 10 pixels all around it, so it's going to be 320 pixels. The height, the same again, so that's 420 pixels. And this is where the position absolute comes in, because we don't want it just sat inside. So we're going to do left -10, top -10. Let's give it a background colour of red for now, and as you can see it just appears over the top of the card even though it's got a background colour. So there's no Z index on the card, make sure that's the case, but give this one a Z index of -1, and there you go, it's behind it. Right, okay, we don't want this colour obviously because we've seen on the design that it's this, so you can go to a CSS gradient generator, and here you can create whatever gradient you want and then just copy the CSS for that gradient. I have obviously already done that, so I'm just going to copy from off screen, replace the background colour here, save, go back to here, and there you go. Nothing too thrilling at the moment, but there you go. So the opacity will obviously be 0 to start with, but I'm going to put it at 1 so we can see what we're doing for the time being. and I'm also going to give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Save, there you go, and I'm going to transition the border in, so what we're actually transitioning is the opacity, and I want that over 0.5 seconds, so half second, like so. Okay, let's do the after for the glow, so doing the similar sort of thing, so let's do after. Again, you need content, so that's going to be blank. And this one's going to be slightly bigger again. I'm only going to do a width 5 pixel more all the way around, so this is going to be 330 for the width and 430 for the height. Again, we need position absolute. I mean, a lot of this, that's the bits that are repetitive, you could actually put in a common rule. You can put them both together and do whatever, but anyway, top -15, left -15, because it's position relative to the card, remember, not the before. And again, we want to do the same colours in the same places, like so. If you just save that, you can see that that's where it is, but we want to give it a filter of a blur, and the blur is going to be 15 pixels, like so. And then of course we want to z-index it to -2. There you go, you've got your glow effect. Also the opacity. Opacity is 1 at the moment, and we'll copy this. We want to transition the opacity again on hover. So let's actually get rid of those by switching the opacity to 0. There you go, they're gone. So let's deal with the hover effects actually. Right, so when we hover over the card, which card, hover, we're affecting the before. I want to do opacity 1, but we want to do it to the before and after, so we might as well just comma separate here, save, and there you go. In comes the glow, out goes the glow. Right, now let's do the perspective, let's do the twists. For this I think I'm going to bring 3 cards in. There we go, they're all the same at the moment. So we want to, because all 3 are different, we want to target them individually, so let's go with card nth child. We want to do the first one, and we want to look out for the hover, and then if it hovers we want to transform, and here we're going to say perspective. That's basically how close you are to the object. If you were to step into the screen, you'd be 600 pixels away from it, which reminds me, pixels. Rotate Y, you probably guess what that does. Yep, it rotates around the y-axis 10 degrees and rotate X. I'm going to do the same, 10 degrees. Let's just try that out. There you go. See, there's two issues here. One, the glow comes to the top, or the before and afters do, and also there's no transitioning. So we need to transition on the actual card. So transition. What we're transitioning, a transform, I think. 0.5 seconds. Is that the one? There we go. So this is the reason I am not putting the header, the image and all the text directly on the card in here. If we were to leave the transforms off like this, works fine, you can do what you like, but as soon as you add a transform, the Z indexing gets very messed up and just introduces a whole world of headaches. So what I am going to do is put in here a class called content. Save that. We'll go to styles, and just after here we'll say content, and we'll say display flex. Flex direction is going to be column because of the contents. Going to do width 100%, height 100%, background color is going to be the same as we have up here for the card. Where are we? There we go. Save. And there you go. Now it's fine. We can put all our gump in the content now. So while we're here, we may as well say align items. We're going to do center because that refers to the left and right. And justify content, and here I'm going to do space between. So it's all spaced out nicely. I mean, you can take the time to actually, you know, design the divs inside, space it, size them, do whatever you like, but for this I'm just going to be doing that. And I'm going to make sure the Z index is 1, so it's always at the top. Right, so now we need to tackle these two. So let's say copy that, and we want to tackle the second child. We want a perspective of 600 again. We don't want a Y because we don't want it twisting left or right, and we'll leave the rotate X 10. Therefore it just leans back, and as you can see we haven't put a contents class in there, so there we go. In fact, we may as well just do that. Copy. There we go. And for the final one, let's copy this. In fact, no, let's copy this one. 600 again. Rotate Y is going to go the other way, so we want to do -10, and rotate X is 10 again. So let's save that. Would help if we change that to the third child, and there we go. Now you can go away and put whatever you like inside here, but I'm going to carry on and finish the card, so let's go back and see what we've got in here. I think in here, put a H4, and this one was social media. In here, H4, this one was email. Here, H4, I think this one was SEO, save. You can see them up there. So we'll style them in a minute. And for the images tab, so it was in the images folder, / now you can pick the one you want, that one. Alternative text, social media. In this one we have an image, and the source is images, email, put email in there. And this one again, image, the source images / SEO. Put in there SEO. Oh, now this is going to get messy. So what I tend to do is to separate them. I'm going to say social media, email, and SEO. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, why didn't you do that to start with, and then you wouldn't have had to do all this nth child stuff? Well, you know what, I could have done, but then you wouldn't have learnt nothing. So that's why I did it. Anyway, you can, if you want to, obviously go and give each one a class or an ID or whatever, but these probably should be IDs. But anywho, I'm going to go to the content, and I'm going to say, what was the first one? Social media. We want to concentrate on the image inside that social media card, and the width I'm going to give that is 80%. Save. And there you go. That's better. I'm going to pretty much do the same for the others. So email, img, width, I believe I gave that one 40%, like that, and SEO, image, I think I gave that one 70%, like so. There you go. So headers, card H4. Let's change the colour to one I've already got, FCEC, like so. Let's change the font size to 1.6 rem, and text align center, no it is anyway, but margin top, I'm going to give 20 pixels, and padding bottom 20 as well. There we go. So they're all in the same place. Okay, so we've done the headings, we've done the images. Let's get on with the descriptions, which is the paragraphs. So let's save that. So in here we're going to say p tag, and I'm just going to copy some content. You don't want to watch me type that rubbish out. Copy, and it is rubbish. I've just made up some rubbish. Oh, I've done that wrong. In this one, we'll just put this, save. Okay, so it's at the bottom. Right, I'm going to say P card P. Right, so let's give it some padding. 20 pixels. Font size 1.1. Rem. Line height. I'm going to say 1.7. And text align. Center. And then color a light grey. There we go. All done. So there is one other thing I want to do, which is go to card, because if you can see the cursor changing, you can highlight text and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to go here, say user select none, save, and then we just get this. Okay, well, that seems to be it. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave your comments down below, like, subscribe. I'll leave the GitHub repo link down below so you can download all this if you wish. Mess about with it, follow along, whatever. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.